What's going on, everyone? Burnt Toast Chronicles here. I've got another Halo 4 gameplay, and this is Capture the Flag on Adrift. But before I get to talking about this match in particular, I just want to talk a little bit about the game as a whole. And if you saw my previous video, then you may already kind of have a rough idea of my feelings on it, and of course that would be how I loved the game, and it was amazing, and I couldn't stop playing it. But of course that is a very vague description of a game. And now that the initial first week euphoria has sort of worn off, I feel like I can make a little bit more accurate of a judgment call on it. So I guess, you know, if I were to analyze each individual aspect of the game, starting first and foremost with the campaign, I will say that I had a great time with Halo 4's campaign. I was not sure going into it how 343 would carry the story over. I wasn't sure if they would leave important details out or just in general how they would handle things. And I can assure you, if you have not yet played Halo 4 or you've been waiting to play campaign for whatever reason, I can assure you that 343 did not disappoint with this game. I know personally, myself, and from talking to friends who have beaten the game, and I'm not going to give any spoilers, so don't worry, but from talking to friends that have beaten the game, as well as my own opinion, this game is, I mean, by the time you reach the end of it, you're like, okay, give me Halo 5 right now. The ending to this game is amazing. At least I thought it was, and again, so did my friends. I mean, we literally sat there just like wide-eyed, you know, jaws on the ground, just because it was a really, really just amazing ending to the game. And I don't want to encourage anyone to go look it up and spoil it, because this game is worth playing as a whole just to get to that ending alone. But don't spoil it, because you're just ruining a good time for yourself, because I had a great time with Halo 4, and I'm sure if you are even remotely a fan of the Halo series, I think you probably would too. So I don't want to give spoilers, so I'm not going to talk too much about the campaign, because I feel like you can only talk so much about it before you start getting into details. I only did it solo, and that's because I didn't want to have to deal with a co-op partner. I didn't want to have to deal with them, you know, doing whatever, or if I had a partner with a bad connection, I didn't want to have to deal with lagging and ruining my experience. I just wanted to be able to enjoy it for myself and create the experience first time through as I wanted it done. And so, you know, that's just me. Of course, you can play it however you want. If co-op is your thing, go for it. Of course, I plan on going back and playing this game with friends on Legendary, but you know, for now, first time through, I had fun doing it alone. So enough campaign, and now let's talk a little bit about Spartan Ops. Now, if you don't know what Spartan Ops is, then it's basically just a little kind of a co-op side story type thing, where every week 343, I think it's every Tuesday, they release 5 new co-op missions, and the missions are pretty short. They range from 5 to 10 minutes apiece, and depending on how fast you get through it and what difficulty you play on, of course, will, you know, determine if it's shorter or longer. But they're a fun little experience. If I had one complaint about Spartan Ops at all, it would be that right now, I know they're on to week 3, but I've only played the first 2 weeks, and so far there has just been a lot of map recycling. So I'm hoping that as Spartan Ops continues on, they will introduce new maps, because the maps they have are fun, but I mean, you can only replay them so many times. You know, if you go back and you do it with friends, or if you're doing it by yourself, you know, you can only replay the same map so many times before you're just like, okay, give me something new. So I do hope they keep variety in there and they keep switching it up, because that will be the key to making, or to allowing, Spartan Ops to continue to be a fun experience, because I have really been enjoying that. It's a fun little thing to just get together with a couple of friends, and you know, it's by no means a serious experience. There is no real hardcore storyline to it. I guess there is kind of a storyline, but you have to be playing solo in order to experience it, because it's done in the form of cutscenes that you view before you start the missions, and you can only view those cutscenes if you're alone. I hope that makes sense. But when I say that it's not a super serious, super story-driven experience, what I mean is it is definitely not the kind of experience you will get from doing the campaign. There's still a storyline to it, just not to the same extent as the real campaign of the game. So, otherwise, it's a fun little mode. It's a nice little, way to stay entertained with the game and get a little replay value out of it. And then, of course, that brings us to war games or the multiplayer. And, overall, I've been definitely enjoying it. This would, like I said, this would be a game of Capture the Flag, and I think they've definitely tweaked certain aspects of multiplayer from previous games that have definitely helped to balance it out and make it a little bit more fun. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, in Oddball, if you pick up the ball, you can press left trigger. At least that's what it is for me. I use the recon control layout, so I don't know what it is for default. But if you're using recon and you're an oddball and you pick up the ball and you press left trigger, you can actually just throw the ball to one of your teammates, so that's pretty cool. Like in Capture the Flag here, if you pick up the flag, you may have already seen by now, you can still use your pistol with while holding the flag, and to my knowledge, you cannot drop the flag in this game once you pick it up, so that eliminates those annoying flag jugglers that were such a nuisance in Halo 3 and Halo Reach. So they've tweaked certain things, and it's a nice experience. I've been finding the most enjoyment to be in the objective game modes. There's certainly nothing wrong with Slayer. It's just, for me, I love to get a team together and play some good objective. And this game, kill death wise, not that I'm ever a huge I need to have a perfect kill death, but I do go positive. I don't get by any means an extraordinary amount of kills. I go 12-4. I get 6 assists in this game, but I felt this game was a very good balance of going for kills and playing the objectives. I captured 3 of the flags in this game, and then combine that with my kill-death ratio, I felt was a very well-balanced performance. And I would rather have more players like me on the team who know how to balance that instead of just people who only go for the flag or who only go for kills. But overall, I think this was a good match, and I think the War Games has been done very well. And I really don't have anything to say about Forge in Halo 4. I've never been huge into Forge in Halo 3 or Halo Reach. It's just not my thing. I guess I'm not a very creative person. I don't look at a map and go, oh, I can make this out of the map. That's just not me. So I can't really speak from experience on Halo 4's Forge. I literally have not even been into it at all. The theater mode, if it even really counts as its own thing, the theater mode really doesn't feel much different from what they've previously offered. It is still easy to use and very streamlined, so of course that's great, especially for somebody like me who has to be trying to access so many different file shares and getting so many different clips. So it's a nice, as always, it's a nice system to use. So hopefully I have covered this pretty in depth, as much as I can, in little over 9 minutes here. So if you have any questions, leave them in comments, and of course I'm going to keep making Halo 4 videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please subscribe to me for more, and I will talk to you all later.